Hello everyone, my name is Alicia Wilford of Yoke and Abundance, and today I'm going to be taking you through an exercise to identify your personal core values. Our core values are the compass that will always lead us towards right alignment, true north with your true self. There's an old Stephen Covey video from probably the late 80s, early 90s. Stephen Covey is the author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And he has this video where he works with someone and he asks her to fill a bucket. She has choices of pebbles and sand and big rocks. And she starts with the pebbles and then the sand, and then she goes to put the big rocks in, and there's no room for the big rocks. And Stephen explains to her, the big rocks are actually the most important things in your life, like family, spirituality, health, whatever it is, the big, most important things. And only you can identify what those most important things for you actually are. But we all have them. We all have the things that are most important. And when you put the big rocks in first, then there's room to dump in the pebbles and then the sand, and there's room for everything. But if you don't put those big rocks in first, there's no room for them. So those are our core values. Personally speaking, my core values are creativity, growth, sovereignty. To me, that means freedom in so many different ways. So creativity, health, sovereignty, mindfulness, and then growth. Those are my personal 5 core values. 5 is an arbitrary number. You might have a little less, you might have a little more. I would encourage you not to pick too many because it gets really hard to fit in all of those big rocks, right? And oftentimes we're trying to make it bigger than it is. So those are my core values. And it took me a little while to figure out what those core values are. But when I determined what those core values actually were, the thing that it helped me with is it helped me realize that I was out of alignment. I was out of alignment with the most important things in my life. Once I determined what those core values were, it meant that I needed to start taking steps. And it started with baby steps and turned into big steps. But it started with baby steps towards a new job, a new relationship, and developing healthier habits for myself, making creativity a priority for myself beyond what I had already been doing. Now, this is a very creative process of figuring out and identifying what your personal core values are. And we're going to do that together right now. We're going to begin with a meditation and Reiki. Then I'm going to give you a writing prompt. And you have all of this in the worksheet below as well. So you're going to have a worksheet that will help you go through this process together. I'm going to help you identify your words, and then I'm going to give you some homework. So we're going to begin with a mindful meditation to ground and center ourselves. And I'm going to be sending you distance Reiki, which Reiki is just healing art. It's just healing energy coming to you to help ground you and center you in this experience. And then we'll move on from there. So what I want you first to do is have your journal and a pen handy and nearby. Have the core values compass worksheet downloaded and ready to go. So you can pause this video if you need to gather those materials. And then I invite you to take a very comfortable seat. Close your eyes and begin to settle in. Just begin to settle into this shape. Relaxing into this moment. And beginning to scan your body, scanning your whole body. Notice anywhere that you're holding, clenching, or tightening, and let it go. Notice what you see with your mind's eye. Acknowledge it and let it be. Notice what you feel in your body. Are you clenching? Are you gripping? Notice the texture of the air on your skin. Notice the texture and feel of the clothing. Acknowledge those sensations and let them be. Notice what you smell, any fragrance that's present. Acknowledge it and let it be. Notice if there's any taste present, any flavors on your tongue. Acknowledge it and let it be. Notice what you hear around you. Acknowledge it and let it be. As you bring your awareness into center, into your heart, connecting with your breath, in through your nose, out through your nose. Just following your breath in, following it all the way out. Then beginning to notice your thoughts. If any thoughts come to mind, acknowledge them and let them be. Following your breath in through your nose, out through your nose. That's one breath. In through your nose, out through your nose. That's another breath. Following in and out. Just be aware of what's arising and let it go. Taking one more full, big, deep breath in and let it out. Coming back to this space from wherever it is that you just went. Grab your journal, grab your pen, pause this video, and write down anything that just came up for you. And then when you're ready, turn the video back on. Now we're ready for step 2. Step 2, I would like you to make 2 columns in your journal. The first column is what is energy giving in your life? And the second column is what is energy taking in your life? What are the things that fill you up and leave you energized, raring to go? And what are the things that feel draining and horrible? So make a list of each one. What is energy giving and what is energy taking? You'll go ahead and you'll pause the video, make your list, and then come on back for step 3. Now, in step 3, in your worksheet, you have a word bank. And what we're going to go ahead and do in this word bank is you're going to circle the words that resonate with you, and you're going to put an X through the words that don't resonate with you. And then once you're done, you're going to take a stack of paper or a stack of index cards, and you're going to write all of the words that you circled on a sheet or on these cards, one per card. Then what I want you to do is I want you to put them in groups. If they seem like they're similar groups, go ahead and group them into those groups. What we're trying to do is we're trying to narrow these down into your core values. And you might see that there's a group that's similar. Honesty and integrity, is that one word? You know, whatever is important to you until you've narrowed it down to what feels right. So not, like I said, I have 5 personal core values. 5 is an arbitrary number. I don't think I could keep track of 6 core values. So I knew it needed to be 5 or below. You want to have at least 1 core value, but probably somewhere between 3 and 5 is a sweet spot. So narrow it down and do whatever process that is right for you. Now the thing is that once you have these words defined, or once you have these words, you're going to define them for yourself. So if you find that you have a number of words that seem a little bit similar, you could take one of those words and write the definition to encompass the other words as well. So the thing is that you're creating these core values. It really doesn't matter what the word means to me or to, your sister or sister-in-law or brother or mother. What does the word mean to you? You're going to be defining it for yourself. You're giving yourself the power and the permission slip to make this fully your own. So go ahead and press pause as you work through step 3. When you're ready, turn the video back on for step 4. Okay, moving on to step 4. Once you have your core values written out, you're going to go ahead and you are going to define those core values. So write them down, write each one, and then go ahead and create your definition for each of the core values that you have defined or identified. Go ahead and pause this video, and then when you're ready, come on back for step 5. Okay, moving on to step 5. Now, this one is going to happen over the course of a number of days. So I want you to think about writing out these core values and putting them where you'll see them. So you might put them on a sticky note on your computer. I highly recommend putting them in your calendar. So how you spend your time is how you spend your life. Let me repeat that. How you spend your time is how you spend your life. So if the appointments on your calendar are not in alignment with any of your core values, that tells you something really, really big. Your appointments should be in alignment with your core values. If it's not, think really hard before putting that appointment onto your calendar. So these are your compass. These will help you make big decisions. They will help you figure out what's most important to you, and they will help you in so many different ways, in ways that I can't even begin to describe to a certain extent. You'll journal about these values, and I would highly recommend doing this exercise at least once a year and just thinking about whether or not these values still ring true for you a year from now. As things in our life change, different jobs, marriage, divorce, children, empty nest, As we make different life transitions, as we grow and change, as we learn new things, our core values might change. They might not. They might stay the same. Mine are pretty constant for now, but that's not to say that they couldn't. So it's worth revisiting, even if you think they're going to be the same. It's worth going through these exercises and thinking through, and then thinking about continuing to revisit your calendar. Are you putting things on your calendar that are in alignment? The first time the first time I did this exercise, I realized that my job was not in alignment with my core values. A relationship that I was in was not in alignment with my core values. And I had to go about and begin making baby steps to bring myself back into alignment with what's most important to me. Because these values are your compass. They're not someone else's compass. They're not what your family told you to think. They're not what work has told you to think. They're yours. What's important to you. So go ahead, and for step 5, you are going to be putting these on your computer, on your mirror. You're going to be journaling about these. You're going to be putting them in your calendar. You're going to be making sure that the appointments that you put on your calendar are in alignment with your core values, because how you spend your time is how you spend your life. And be gentle with yourself. As you go through these exercises of uncovering your core values, if you find that you're not in alignment with your compass, really be gentle. You can begin just simply by taking baby steps towards your true north. It doesn't have to be hard, big leaps all at once. So begin taking small steps. Thank you so much for being with me here today. Thank you so much for identifying your compass. And if you have questions about this exercise, please don't hesitate to reach out. Take care.